Hi, Hiram here. Last week I did some videos on my remote fuel feeders, the stations, like this. Also with Fire Eater 908's fire plug stove and my leveler. I call it the leveler. Other people call it a dome top station. Anyway, I tried to explain how they worked, but I screwed up, I guess. I didn't do very good because I've had a number of people asking me if I would try to explain it a little bit better. So what I did was I put together a rough representation here. A couple of tanks with a hose going between them and then a hose coming out to act like the stuff's being burned. What I'm going to show you here first is what I call a leveler. This is the one with an open bottle inside a cap with the micro nipple. And all it does is water wants to find its own level. So because I have a hose here between these two containers, this one, let's say, would be the remote, and this one would be the burner representing it. When I put water into this and it goes through the hose, it does its best to bring the water up on this side to the same height as that side. So basically that's how it works in the burner. When you're using something like the leveler, you can only put alcohol in here in this bottle as it's needed so that it's not up higher than the height of the stove. So you have to keep watching it. I like the other type better. I'll go into that next. But on this, so I'm going to put blue water in here to represent alcohol, and you'll see it how it goes across. Now this is going to be a little slow, so I'm going to speed up this next section of tape. Let me put in the alcohol, and you'll see right away it's going over into the other tube. If I fill this up all the way to the top, it'll divide the stuff between the two tanks, divide the water. A little gurgling here. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, so there you are. It's been running for about 3 minutes. I let it go a little bit extra long. But I think you can see that this is stopped with both tanks at about the same height in water. So that's what happens. If this was your burner, it's going to go up to whatever level you put it in on this one. But this would be a little bit different. It would go a little bit faster because all this alcohol would be burning in the meanwhile. This went so slow because the water pressure was building up here, so the going over was slower and slower and slower. I've got a little bit of a leak here. I made this in a nice warm house. I hadn't thought about what's going to happen out here in the cold. So anyway, that's why I call it the leveler, because you have to figure out what level you want it to go to. So I want to keep it down in the white on this, so I have to keep pouring alcohol in there. The other one that I like is what I call the bubbler. It's like a chicken waterer. I think I said that on one of my videos. This is just like how a chicken waterer on a farm would work. This is mine, and this is Smoke Eater 908's fire plug. Both of them work exactly the same. It's just that mine's a little bit larger because I was going for a longer run. In this, the important part of this is you put the alcohol in here. Again, you have to go for it's like I said, it's a leveler, so to speak, because wherever I put this bottle in this stand, the top, the opening, the top of the bottle has to be lower than the top of the stove. That's one of the things you have to watch out for. You have to make sure that this top isn't any, you couldn't put it up here, it'd flood it out, but as long as this would set in this kind of a placement, all it's going to do is just fill alcohol in here up to this point. And I'll show you why. It's like the old trick you used to play at summer camp, where you take the glass of water, put a card on it, flip it upside down and set it on the table. and then pull the card out, the water doesn't come out. Same thing, air pressure keeps it in place. So let's see if I can do this without making a big mess. This is my bottle of alcohol. Let's just say these are empty. I'm just doing it like this to save some time. But I take my bottle of alcohol, screw the top on, the stand on. Where'd it go? You know, the bottom part of it. And then I flip it over, just like so. Okay, so see, I stopped it there because that's the top of the bottle hit the water surface. So nothing's coming out because there's no way for air to get into the bottle. This is already full. I've got a leak here, so I got to get moving. Now what happens is, if this was this level in my stove, like that, my carbon felt's getting wet. I light it, it starts to burn, and I'm going to do this with a run out with another hose here. Alcohol is being removed from this, and as it comes out of this surface lowers. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's going down. See, air can get in, and it lets alcohol out. Should have put the camera up a little bit. See that? So as the water is coming out of here by being, or the alcohol is coming out of here by being burned, it lowers this, which lets air get into the tank, releasing more alcohol. That's why I call it a bubbler, because it bubbles. Again, this, if I stop this, which, like I said, I've got a leak here. I hadn't counted on this cold. If I could let this run long enough, this water in this would never get any higher than that bottle, the bottle top. And that's how the remote works. See, it's filling this up again. So it lowers this level a little bit, just enough that it lets air in. That lets out some alcohol, fills it up, stops it. It's being brought over here to this side, and it just bubbles away. So, although it's a little messy, I hope this helps you with understanding how the fuel stations work. I got to get this out of here before it floods my tabletop. But again, I hope this helps. A little bit graphic demonstration. I thank you for watching. I'm worried about this water. I look forward to your input, questions, remarks, helpful suggestions. And as always, watch for my buddy Max. Bye now.